what's happening, y'all? Alright, look. I think it's time to address, once and for all, the attacks from Twitter against NASCAR, bogus accusations, and the ranting and misguided individuals. I wrote this down because I don't want this to seem like another rant. So I want to open up this conversation about the empty seating in NASCAR. Alright? Now my question is, do we really feel that it's a bigger problem than it really is? Because everybody's addressing it. Okay, the time to address the Twitter rants about NASCAR. Here's the solution. If you feel that it affects you that much, I suggest that you might save up some of your money, take a trip to one of these races, and fill a seat. I feel that it's vital to start giving NASCAR a solid break from the constant complaints and ranting on issues like empty seats, qualifying, and package they're currently running. Yes, it might seem a little slower because they increased the downforce. We are seeing closer competition, especially short tracks, lots of passing. It could just be me, but I feel people ain't really happy unless they're seeing wrecks and fights break out of control. Costing these smaller teams who are limited to finances lots of money and potentially not running every race because maybe lack of funding from sponsorships. NASCAR is about opportunity and talent, and speed is not always the reason for winning races, but rather opportunity and the right strategy. Okay, so we look at Bristol. We've seen that Kyle Busch didn't win by speed. He won by strategy. And I think all it takes is for someone to have a defining moment like Busch with 15 laps to go, and he did his thing. Okay? It was obviously not by speed because the Penske's had that pretty much all race. Okay. I might not have a huge following, but my passion is strictly Jesus Christ and the love of racing. On track, close competition, side by side, and close finishes. Let this sport be a passion for the love of the sport. It's not about who wins. It's not about who loses, who crashes. Ask yourself this question. What was the defining reason you fell in love with racing? Then compare it to your attitude on ranting now. Okay? Because you're complaining about everything, and you're not giving NASCAR nothing to go off of because you got two sides that's bickering. You got the fans who love racing and the people who just come in for the wrecks and the fights, man. You're not happy unless it's a big wreck in Talladega or Daytona. You're not happy unless there's fighting among the drivers. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Nobody wants to see close finishes. Like we did in 2016 when you had Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. with that close of a finish. That's racing. You seen what they were doing. Hey, last year, you seen Joey Logano at Martinsville do the bump. He didn't dump him. He did the bump and run. And what were they doing? They were banging side by side the last lap to cross that line. That's passion for racing. He didn't throw him into the wall. He bumped him up the track. That's part of racing. And one last thing. All the hate that you guys gave Logano for being a champion, and all the disgusting things that how you guys feel because Jimmy Johnson was winning all these years. You know what's crazy? Is you seen the heirs of Michael Jordan. You seen the heirs of Tom Brady. You seen the heirs of players like Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa. And then you see people like Jimmy Johnson. You know what should happen? It should be everybody else should step their game up. There shouldn't be no slowing Jimmy Johnson down. That should be a bar set for everybody else to get better. Now that Kyle Busch is winning all the races, Harvick, it's okay for everybody. But when Johnson was winning, everybody wanted that to stop. That's not what sports is about. You're either great or you're just average. You can't make someone mediocre be great. You're either born to do it or you're not. You're just another extra on that track, man. You know what defines a person is by exceeding the limits in their life, man. It's about going out and doing things that people say they can't do. And you know what? For all those people that showed hate against Jimmy Johnson, that's shameful, man. No one should ever have hate for someone who wins a lot of races. One more thing I truly wanted to address that upset me, and it's the fact that Darrell Waltrip, a man that gave his whole life to racing, was being bashed, criticized, and shunned by people on social media. People that claim to be outlets for NASCAR. There's one thing I've learned in life, that you can enjoy something and not always agree with someone else who's a part of it. I mean, this is ridiculous that there are people booing him out of what he loves doing. Because he's not your kind of announcer, you think it's okay for you to say you're past your prime, Waltrip, get out. That's completely bogus. It's uncalled for. It's evil, man. That should never be acceptable. Because you feel a certain type of way. Because he's not your kind of announcer. That man loves the sport, man. That man gave his life to the very sport that you watch. You don't like his announcements? Don't watch it. Turn on the radio. Turn on the Moody radio, man. And listen to MRN. I mean, it's dumb. It should never be allowed. And I'm not going to put up with it.
Yeah.